The state's new budget director is here to talk dollars and cents. Also, Howard Baldwin, the man behind the Connecticut Whale, joins us to talk hockey. Lots of hockey coming to Connecticut. And we tour one of the region's most used food pantries and talk about the ever-growing need for donations. You're watching The Real Story. I'm Lori Perez. First up, we are going to meet Ben Barnes, the man picked by Governor-elect Dan Malloy to be the state's next budget director. And here is a very brief bio. Barnes is 42 years old. He has a bachelor's degree from Swarthmore and a master's in urban planning from NYU. He is currently, at least for just a few more days, the operating officer for the Bridgeport Public Schools, overseeing a $215 million budget there. Thanks, Ben, for being here.
Thank you.
So a lot is being made of you being this outsider. You know, traditionally a legislator has been picked for this post. Tell me whether you think that matters. How do you think that will help you do your job or make it a challenge?
Well, it's going to be a challenge for anybody who takes this job. I won't question that. I think what I bring to this job is a lot of related experience. I've been involved in public sector budgeting for 10 years. I've balanced budgets and filled some, at the time I thought, large budget holes. Obviously, I have a bigger one to face here in the state of Connecticut.
Yes.
But what I really bring to the table is a long-term working relationship with the governor-elect. Dan Malloy and I have worked together in budget preparation, in operations, and in streamlining government and finding new ways to do things and save money and do things better. And I think that experience and the relationship that we have developed over time is going to enable me to hit the ground running and to be effective and to be able to implement his vision for a Connecticut budget process that's more open and honest and transparent.
Yeah, how would you, you mentioned the transparency, how would you best describe his fiscal attitude?
Well, he's a very pragmatic man when it comes to financing government. He likes to see a lot of options. He likes to understand as much as he can about the implications of various approaches that we could take. And he's going to try to put together the best package he can, but he's going to do it in consultation with other people. Dan Malloy is an extraordinarily gifted leader in this sense that he can work with other people's ideas and find ways to come up with a solution that works for a lot of people and a lot of people can get behind and support. And it's going to be a tough sell in any case when the budget problems are so great. But I think he can do it, and I'm just extraordinarily happy to be able to help.
Can you give us an example of how you guys did that? You know, how he kind of fused other people's ideas and how you helped him fill a budget gap in Stamford?
We one year, a few years ago in Stamford, we were faced with a real challenge to reduce our budget, and the need to reduce dollars an amount that could have resulted in real service cuts. And we were trying not to do that. And we found a way to reconfigure how we were providing recycling services in Stamford, so that we not only did we save a lot of money by collecting it more effectively, but we started collecting more items and actually selling it. At the time, there was a very strong market for recycled paper and things of that nature. So we ended up with negotiating a new contract, having a whole new model for service delivery that saved us about the number, I think it was about $1.1 million, which was the number we needed. We saved a lot of money, and the services has improved. If you go to Stamford today, people rave about their recycling program. You know, they love the single stream and the big bins and all that. So we really made lemons out of lemonade in that situation. I'm not sure there's going to be a lot of just straight lemon juice that has to come through in this budget, but I think he's going to work very hard to find the best, most palatable solutions.
How much have you had a chance to study Connecticut's budget?
I'm not going to say I'm an expert in every item in it, but I am familiar with where the budget is. I've certainly looked at the governor's the transition budget that she provided, and the information that OFA has come out with subsequent to that, which reaffirms that and adds some other details. So I think I have a pretty good sense of the scope and a lot of the driving factors behind the problems that we face.
How easy do you think it's going to be, because Dan talks a lot about GAAP, the generally accepted accounting principles, how easy do you think it's going to be for the state to adopt that? Because that's something that's come up a lot of times, and he says he's going to make it happen.
Well, I don't think it's going to. I mean, it carries a cost, but it doesn't carry. It's not a real cost in my mind, because reporting your financial condition on GAAP, on generally accepted accounting principles, is like being forthright about it. If you tell the truth about something, you don't change the truth. You just tell it. If we were to go forward and not go to GAAP and say, oh, we've balanced the budget, but we're not using GAAP, in fact, we haven't balanced the budget. We've left a little piece of the problem unresolved. So knowing the full scale of the problem, I think, is a critical first step to solving it. Yes, there will be the deficit will be larger in GAAP terms than in the whatever modified cash or whatever the system that they use now, but the fact that we're being honest about it doesn't actually make the problem any bigger. It just means that we're prepared to take on the entire problem, not just a small portion of it or a portion of it.
Right. I mean, the truth might be a little hard to take, I guess, is what you're saying.
The truth is going to be hard to take, but it's the truth. We have to be straightforward about it. I don't see any other way around it.
Right. And I know that you said you don't really have a solution, but I'll ask you anyway. I mean, as you look at the budget, are there things right away that you think, okay, well, we could start to work on this?
Well, all I can say is that over the last few days, especially, but certainly over the last year or more, that the election's been going on, and I've been thinking about state issues and in a admittedly in a less focused way than I have in the last few days. There are a lot of ideas out there. There are a lot of ideas surrounding health care, surrounding retirement, how we pay our employees. There are a lot of things that have been raised, and I think that all of those bear examination. I know that Dan has suggested changes in the organization of agencies. I think that bears close scrutiny and will provide some of the answers. So there are a lot of ideas out there. The challenge is going to be to find which combination is the right one for Connecticut.
Right, and we have less than a minute, but you see your role as what, really?
Well, my role is to lead the Office of Policy and Management in providing information to the governor about what the options are and helping him to craft a solution to this budget problem. I think that there's an enormous amount of information that goes into that, and I'm going to try to corral that, and then I'm going to try to communicate that to the public and the General Assembly with him and on his behalf so that we can all come to agreement about it.
Right. Well, we wish you good luck, Ben, because I know it's going to be a very difficult and at times brutal job that you're going to have.
Well,
good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for spending time with us. Okay. Up next, Connecticut has the whale, but will it ever have the whalers?